Hi. What would you advise retail investors now? Because the sell-off that started from last Wednesday has become quite brutal, to be honest, in the last 2 or 3 days.
I think this point of time, Sudarshan correctly said that, one doesn't really want to deal with the falling knife. So best would be just stay out and watch. Those who are invested should remain invested. Can't do much about it, but, go through the pain. Shouldn't venture out and start buying as yet. Let things stabilize. But my sense is that at least in the immediate short term, maybe the next day or two, this probably is the last leg of it, which is playing out today very aggressively. And it's primarily led by some news flows behind the scenes which aren't out really in the open. So it's the developments behind the scenes that are troubling the markets. Something that's not out in the open, and I'm sure one would know.
Indeed. By the way, we were talking about the Bank Nifty outperformance, no longer the case.
We're now down 1.7% on the Bank Nifty.
It's a vertical decline on the Bank Nifty now. It will be important to keep in mind the recent low for the Bank Nifty.
I'll tell you what's capitulated. ICICI Bank has capitulated in the last bit. HDFC Bank has capitulated in the last bit, and HDFC has sold off. So you look at that big fall off in ICICI Bank. Big fall off in HDFC Bank. You can see that play out in HDFC as well. These are stocks that have given up quite a bit just in the last 5 minutes or so.
Indeed. Sanjay, that's the worry. Stocks are selling off even on rallies, and market is not rewarding even good earnings. IndusInd Bank was the case in point. Today we've seen a sharp decline in Reliance, though to be honest, it had rallied heading into the earnings. And we've seen what happened to TCS. So what do you make of that?
The decline today, Anuj, and in fact, yesterday, that's on Friday, has been because of other factors other than just earnings. And yes, you're correct that markets are not reacting to earnings because there are certain other bigger factors that are playing out which are beyond the purview of the market. And that's the reason why we are seeing this kind of a brutal sell-off as we're seeing today.
What does that mean, bigger factors? I'm sorry, I couldn't quite understand what that meant. Are we talking about macroeconomic issues or some political issues?
I think a combination of political and some regulatory issues that are probably bothering the market at this point of time. And I think they will play out in the next day or two, and then the markets would settle. And at this point of time, probably the market is apprehending a negative implication of those on stock prices. That's the reason why you're seeing the sell-off really across the board and not just related to
what specific regulatory issues, Sanjay? Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just trying to get a sense of why these markets are selling off with this ferocity, and why you expect that these will get settled in a day or two, and therefore the markets will calm down here on.
America, we all know obviously that markets hate, all financial markets hate uncertainty.
Sure.
So at this point of time, people don't know what they're grappling with. There are various theories that are being floated around, and just probably might just be rumors that are related to politics or related to any other development. So I really wouldn't think it appropriate to get into them, but I think that's what is plaguing the market today and has led to the brutal sell-off.
Okay, Sanjay, we've seen pharma stocks also correct off late. Though today you've seen some buying, but is that an entry opportunity now, especially for stocks like, say, Bluepin, which is now corrected about 12 to 15% from highs?
I think so. Like I said, Anuj, probably this is towards the last, this is the last leg of it, and I think another 50-100 points once you see the market settle down. Markets obviously will not show a V-shaped recovery because we are in the middle of the result season and everyone would like to see what happens in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But probably a base building would start somewhere around the 8300, 8350 range, somewhere closer to the earlier low. And probably that should hold, I think. So my sense is that today is the worst of the sell-off that we've seen over the last 5-6 days, which will be carrying on.
Okay, so from here onwards, if you do expect some sort of recovery, Sanjay, is it a time to talk about, stocks that may have corrected quite a bit and therefore look attractive at this point in time, or would you rather hold your, comment on that till you see a turnaround in markets?
I wouldn't wait for a turnaround, America. I would look at stock-specific opportunities if I'm an investor. As a trader, obviously, like I said, I wouldn't want to really look at the market because, you never try to catch a falling knife. But as an investor, yes, I would start nibbling at stuff that I like, which I missed earlier, and are down 20-odd% in just about a fortnight or so. That kind of stuff I'll probably start nibbling into. But there also I would like the market to really settle down, like I said, and I'm repeating it again, sound like a broken record, that, let it all settle down, let the dust settle down, let the news flow be clear, let us all see whether what's happening, what's really hit the market today, and it's not out in the open yet. And then we'll probably be in a better position to take our buy calls.
Okay. Sanjay, you may not want to name all of them, but what would be on top of that list in that case? The stocks that you said have corrected 10 to 15% and you would want to nibble in there?
I think across the board in the mostly inward-looking sectors, like capital goods, engineering, you mentioned a few pharmaceutical names which have corrected aggressively. Each one of us has our own, list of stocks which we have studied thoroughly and are pretty comfortable holding for the longer term. So one needs to do that bit of homework, really,
Just to go back to the previous sort of comments that you've been making, Sanjay, I'm still a little nonplussed about what specific rumors. I understand that you're hesitant to mention them because you don't want to give them currency, especially, on national TV in that sense. But they have to do with some government moves. Do they have to do with, for instance, tax and FII and match, and you expect some sort of relief in the next couple of days? I'm just trying to understand what rumors these are that seem to have spooked the market.
I think broadly around what you just mentioned, tax, as well as something got to do with politics also, is what I'm hearing. But like I said, absolutely baseless. No one should give any credit to what I'm saying. But there is uncertainty right now. There is uncertainty related to some other old cases that are on in the courts also. So it's a combination of that that's probably spooking the market. We are seeing this aggressive sell-off. But obviously, the global landscape is not helping in any manner. So it's, just kind of everything put together, and the pot is boiling over today.
Okay. You did say that you expect some sort of stabilization in the next couple of days. We're not going to hold you to that. But if that doesn't happen, how much, sort of further lower can these markets go, or will these markets go in your estimation?
I think comfortably 7,800, 7,900. Technically, that's a level which should be seen. If we don't get that support at that 8,200, 8,300, which we did get earlier. So 5% below that, I think we could see in the next month or so, or maybe earlier than that in case results are very bad, as well as, the negative news flow. The overall negative news flow that I'm mentioning, if any rumors, if they do make any sense, and if they actually are true, fall in place, then probably easily 10% from the current levels at 7,800, I think is possible.
All right, Sanjay, we appreciate you joining us this afternoon. Thank you very much for some insight into what's prompting these markets to sell off so ferociously. We're going to head into a quick break on Closing Bell, but when we come back, the widening trade deficit, falling equity prices and higher oil prices are all hurting the rupee as well today. We're going to talk about the rupee and continue focusing on equities when we come back. Stay tuned.